Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is going to be a long one. I'm letting you know that right now because we're going to do start to finish because I have some stuff I want to say. Take it for how you will. We're going to be using our Lethal Cosmetics Candyland palettes. I'm going through a thing again where I'm wondering if I want to declutter it. And my members did help me name these my BYOPs, and so they are like near and dear to my heart. I really feel like I'm leaning more into my preferred aesthetic, which is smoky, dark, grungy, vampy, goth, you know, that type of thing. And this is not that. If I do declutter it, this one is Monarch, this one is Thorn. Both of these are UV reactive, and I do love how this looks next to this one. I do have this shade in another BYOP. This one is pretty and it's bold. This is very bright. This is nice, and I do really like Lethal Shadows, and this is kind of like that mustardy pale green grunge thing, and so I'm not sure. So we're using it today because I want to see how close I can get to what I prefer. Base is just another pretty look. So we're going to start with City Beauty Plumping Lip Oil. I'm going to talk also today about boundaries, and take it for what you will. Take what I say for what you will. Of course, this is the brightening eye cream. I want to put it here because this is dry, and I did put on extra moisturizer up here earlier, my third eye, that is healing quite nicely, but I didn't want to do another full skincare routine. It is I think like around 2 in the morning. I am nocturnal, so let that not seem strange to you. So we're going to talk about boundaries, and I remember saying I don't make resolutions, I make lifestyle changes. And for this year, my focus is going to be more on protecting my own peace, maintaining my boundaries. And there are people who will seemingly go against that, and I don't. Sometimes they are aware, but in some situations with some people, I do believe they're not aware, and that's what makes it more challenging because I don't want to be I was going to say the B word. Let's get started. Okay, so we are going to put the usual suspects on the face, and so I'm going to try and breeze through this as fast as possible. And I am wondering if I want to put Inglot or something else in my brows, because that'll speed this part along. But here we are with the pencil on my skin. So I remember saying, I don't think I said maintaining. I think I said creating or reinforcing my current boundaries, emotional boundaries with people, because there are people who will use you for their own purposes. Sometimes it is unknowing, and other times it may be. But the situations I'm going to talk about are those who I genuinely believe that they don't realize that they're being inappropriate and or selfish. Well, inappropriate, selfish, and entitled. And so, of course, I'm going to speak about my experiences, just to give you examples. And everybody's experiences are not the same, but I use me because I'm not going to talk about or dox other people. So one situation, well, let me do the intro first. Hello and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, knowing it's okay to be your authentic self, just being who you are in a world where people will tell you who and how they think you should be. We also believe in just using what we want to use as far as makeup, whatever tool, whatever technique, whatever brand, regardless of how many videos you hear or you watch that say this is what you need to do, this is what you need to try, this is what you need to use. If you want to try all the things, try them because you're curious, not because you feel obligated or because you think that what you're doing is not good enough. You set the standard for yourself. So try not to feel like you have to live up to somebody else's expectations. And those of us who do content, we already know we're opening up ourselves for criticism, because people will tell you, oh, you should wear lighter lipstick. Oh, you shouldn't have used, you know, white mascara. Well, what about if you did this? How about you subscribe and join the membership? Because here, channel members get to make a request. And I do say that sometimes to people, and even though it sounds snarky, it's really true, because members get to make requests. If you want to see me do a certain thing, then you need to become a member and make that request, and I will do it. Even if it's not my style, I will do it because I take membership perks seriously. $2.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. So I said that recently in a live stream when someone was saying something I didn't need to do or whatever. And so I went through that whole spiel. And then even like 5 minutes afterwards, like I'm still laughing. Like I really was just smooth off the cuff with telling them to subscribe and join the membership. And I don't know if they stayed or not, because, you know, if they don't speak, I don't know they're there. So sometimes people will just comment. And I do respond to all comments. And so they didn't respond back. So I don't know if they made their comment and left. But it was just funny to me anyway. But so just wearing what you want to and just rocking it. Like, just be who you are. People will try to tell you do this or do that, and it's based on preference, right? If they don't think I should have on a black lipstick, that's their preference and their opinion. My favorite lip color is black. Tell me I don't need to wear black lipstick if you want to. See if I'm gonna listen. Anyway, here we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, but never feeling like we have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. That's the bottom line here. Just being yourself and loving yourself, feeling put together just because you know you're fabulous. Not feeling like, oh, I don't feel put together unless I have on mascara and lip gloss. You are amazing even without that. You know, makeup doesn't make you. Your core values, your boundaries, your characteristics, your ethics, that's what makes you who you are. Not something you can put on and then take off at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I do hope that resonates with you. Just love yourself and wear what you want to rock it. So that's what the Crazy Troll Nation stands for, and I do hope it resonates with you. Sometimes I do get a comment like, wow, like I love that you said that. As soon as you said that, I subscribed. You know, things like that. Because it is sad to feel like we need somebody else's validation, and that we're going to lead into that. This is going to lead into that too, because sometimes people do. Are my brows friends today? We're going to pretend they are. So there's people who will attempt to use you for, what am I looking for? For their own comfort, validation, reassurance, to help ease their anxiety, whatever the reasons are, you know, to ease their frustrations. And the thing is like, did you agree to that? Did you agree to that? Speaking for myself, when I go through something, which is a lot, I do love my life though. I will say that as much as goes on, I do think I have a good life, and I do believe I have a good life. When I go through something that I'm really just wanting to process with someone else, and of course it's my inner circle, right? I tell you a lot of stuff. Telling somebody something on a mass scale, such as YouTube, is different than having a private conversation with someone that's in your inner circle. There's a difference. And as much as I talk about myself, there's a lot of stuff that I don't say here. And you guys are like, well, damn, like, what could it be? And so when I go through something, and my mind loves to understand things, and so if something keeps coming back up, or a certain situation keeps happening, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what to do, and of course there's options, right? But I'm just not sure. Or sometimes I could be tripping, and y'all know sometimes I'm like, is it me? Because I'm not above thinking it may be me. And so I'm like, okay, let me, you know, process this with someone that I'm close to, someone who knows me, loves me, accepts me for who I am, and vice versa. And, you know, figure out, you know, what's going on and where do I go from here, kind of thing. And so what I will do is, and my inner circle does this for me too. And it's not something that we have said, well, look, if we go through something, this is the protocol. It just turned out to be what it was, where I'll send a text and I'll say, hey, you know, something's really, you know, bothering me today. Do you have time and the mental energy for a phone call? I seldom ask for phone calls. When I do, y'all know it's something. Well, the person I'll call it know it's something, because I'm not a phone person. And they'll either respond back with, well, yeah, give me 10 minutes and I'll be free, or, you know, tomorrow will be better. Today is swamped. You know, this is going on, that's going on. I'm like, okay, sure. So then we'll touch base the next day, and vice versa. If I get a text, you know, can you help me, you know, work through something that's on my mind? And I might be like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm available now. Or, you know, give me a few hours. Because we all go through stuff, right? And so that'll be that conversation. And then we'll touch base at the time that we said that we would touch base, that goes through whatever. And to not be selfish, you know, I'm like, okay, so how's your day going? Before I get into my garbage, right? Because I am not the most important person, you know, here or in that situation. And I'm like, what am I doing? And so we'll go through the pleasantries, and then they're like, okay, what's up? Because we went through all the hellos, how you doing? Okay, what's up? What's going on? And so I'll say whatever it is. And the key thing here is asking the person, do you have the time and mental energy right now to help me process something? That's the key. And I don't get that from certain people in particular who just text me. And there's two different types, and we're going to talk about both types. Text me, oh my gosh, I'm having a really bad day, and the first instinct may be, oh my gosh, what happened? That's not my first instinct anymore, because I need to protect my own peace. You just like text me out the blue, basically just dumping, you know, your elements on me, or attempting to, because we decide if we take that on or not. And so part of being more diligent with protecting my peace is not to just give away my peace because somebody just comes out the blue. And it is people that I know, so it's not like some random person. And part of it was me creating my own beast, where when someone seemed like they were in distress, I felt like I needed to be there because we're so cool with each other, or I did consider them a close friend. And I've learned that everyone doesn't deserve that place in my life, for whatever reason. And so what I've been doing recently as part of my way of protecting my peace is receive a text, oh, you know, such and such, this is, you know, whatever, and excuse me, I forgot to say two things about me. One is I curse, excuse me, sometimes because I curse. And the other thing is there's an organism named Bruce that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gargles, and belches. I try to be aware of him to say, excuse me. So there you have it. That's the end of the intro. And the thing is, and what makes it so ironic to me is, like, the people who like randomly text me or message me something, they're partnered. And they live with their partner or spouse or whatever. I live alone. And so the thing now is, oh my gosh, I'm having like a really, you know, rough day. My reply back is, where's your person? Can you text them? So in other words, like, you have a built-in support system when you live with somebody. And if the person you live with is not your support system, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Oh, we're there at work. Well, aren't you at work too? Yeah. Well, how about you talk to them when both y'all get home from work? In other words, why are you basically trying to unload this on me when you have a person that's in your life every day? Y'all wake up together every day. Y'all go to bed together every night. Y'all eat dinner together every day. Why are you messaging me for comfort, consolation, advice, support, reassurance, validation, whatever it is. That is not my job. And I do tell y'all a lot of stuff that I do go through, and believe me, there's more. But wait, there's more, right? And those are things I usually do deal with on my own, because I am, and I've been told that I'm intuitive and self-aware. So I'm not tooting my own horn. Those are things that people tell me about myself. And so also the reason I don't just like say everything to everybody or seek support or comfort from everybody is because usually people will speak to you from where they are. If I say, oh my gosh, like y'all know I dealt with 3 deaths in the last year, right? If I go to, I'll say the wrong person, and you'll understand why I say that in a moment. If I go to the wrong person and be like, oh my gosh, like I'm really grieving from, you know, my uncle passing away. It's like, girl, I hear you because such and such and such and such. So it's always about them. Regardless of what I say is going on with me, it gets turned around into them. And that's why I said the wrong person. Because if they are not seeing you for you, then, you know, why am I even talking to you? Why am I sharing this with you? And so just recently, someone was trying to get consolation and comfort from me, and I wasn't giving it. I'm like, where's your spouse? Oh, we're there at work. Well, can you text them? Well, no. Well, I guess you can talk to them when both of y'all get home from work. And and so a few days went by. So that was the end of that. And so it probably seemed like I was being a bitch, because usually I will give my time. But I told y'all, this is a new year and a new me. I'm like, no, we're not doing that this year. And so a couple days went by. They messaged me again. Oh my gosh. And it was about grieving. And I said to them, I don't know what to say to you. I said, I don't have anything to say to you because I'm still reeling off of 3 deaths in the last year. And they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. I text back, of course you didn't, because I didn't tell you. Well, you know, you can always talk to me. And I'm like, no, I can't. Not if I want it to be a productive conversation. What do you mean? Well, because usually it turns back to whatever's going on with you. And so that's counterproductive. And I do have people in my inner circle that I process with, and people that do check up on me. So the only reason this person knew that about me was because they was trying to dump on me. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you because I'm dealing with my own stuff. You know what I mean? You don't have to carry everything that someone wants to put in your lap. Well, you know, you can talk to me. No, I can't. Not to have a productive conversation, because you're going to flip it around to you. And if that's what it's going to be, then you can just text me and I just will be very, you know, I don't want to say flippant, but flippant. and do like I said. I don't know what to tell you because I'm dealing with my own stuff. Like, no one person corners the market on depression, grief, anxiety, frustration. No one person corners the market on that. And so to just expect that when you reach out to someone, they're just going to be all that you need them to be. No. I'm going to use hibiscus eggs and pomelo peach. And so some are getting the point that this is pomelo peach. I meant to put this right here. So let's just put this here. And so I haven't heard from that person in about a week, because they know I don't have anything to give them. And for someone who was usually messaging me for comfort, consolation, whatever, if they're messaging me for comfort and consolation, why would I contact them for the same thing? If they're contacting me for it, that means they don't have it and they're trying to get it from me. So no, I'm not going to console you. I'm not. For what? For you to turn it back on yourself. And so I'm still where I am and mentally exhausted from taking on your stuff, Biscuits Hayes. And it's not happening anymore. It's inappropriate, and it's selfish, and it's entitlement. When you really think and believe that anytime, day or night or whatever, you can contact somebody for something and they're just going to give it to you when you haven't even like showed that you care, like where they are or what they're going through, or at least in a believable way that they're like, oh yeah, I can, you know, contact you if I'm going through something. And as I said earlier, certain situations recently, I do think they're unaware. And I'm gonna say it again, it's selfish in the sense that you just want to get what you can get from this person. It's entitlement, saying things in a way that you really believe they owe you to give you what you're looking for. And it's inappropriate. And as someone with a clinical background, I'm quick to be like, hey, maybe you should see a therapist. And most good therapists have a therapist, so there ain't nothing wrong with it. But don't just be out here, you know, thinking that, you know, people owe it to you to help you with your mess. Seek professional help. Don't seek it from people, especially if they're not in your inner circle, because the relationship isn't even like that for you to, for them to maybe feel like, well, yeah, I do need to help them, you know, because we're really cool or whatever. It can be exhausting. And so there's also been situations where, okay, so that situation, the first text, the same situation I was just talking about. How are you doing today? I'm really going through today because of such and such. So I know up front that they're going through something and they're seeking me to give them something to help them through their day or their moment or whatever. And the other situation is, and I think it's even worse, but I don't know. It comes down to the same difference. Both of these are from Mac. This one is Hellbent, and this one is Stay the Night. We're going to put Stay the Night on our inner realms. Is when someone will message you, meaning email or text or whatever, and just start asking you questions. And as straightforward as I am, I already know what that situation is, because it's been a pattern established already. You know what I'm saying? So they'll just ask me, you know, questions. And even if it's a straightforward question, I don't give a straightforward answer. I didn't receive an invitation to this party. I'm not coming to this party. I'm not going to play this game, even though it doesn't seem like a game. But knowing that, you know, certain people will just message you questions, and after like the third or fourth exchange, they say, oh, I was asking because I was trying to figure out such and such, or I was asking because da da da. And so that's been a pattern. And so no. And that's really inappropriate, I feel like, because you have an ulterior motive for even messaging me. You have an ulterior motive. You're messaging me to get answers, and then it's like, oh, well, yeah, I was asking because, versus, hey, good morning, I'm really struggling today. They both go to the same road. And I used to find myself very much annoyed until I decided I'm just not going to deal with that. And if they're asking me questions, I'm going to ask them questions. Why are you asking? I'm not going to answer you, because it doesn't matter. 9 times out of 10, when someone is asking questions, they already know what they think the answer is. And so I'm not going to have this back and forth, giving you my answer, and then giving you explanations, and then giving you for instances. All of that is mental energy, and I didn't sign up for that. If this is you, either one of these two types, just stop. Especially if you have a person at home with you every day. Talk to that person. Talk to your inner circle. Find a therapist. And I know this may sound cold. Sometimes it just is what it is. And not to expect people to just be there for you when you want them to. That you can just ask questions out of the blue and they're just going to console you, encourage you, motivate you, and all of that. Did they sign up for that? Do they know that that's why you were messaging them in the first place? Usually no. Usually it's not. And so it's been a thing. It's happening less now that I've been reinforcing that boundary for myself. And as I said, usually when they're asking questions, they already know, or they think they know. And because I'm not giving answers, me not giving answers is really me saying, you decide for yourself what it is or whatever's going on. Because whatever I say is still going to be another question. Even if they don't ask it, it's going to be something rolling around in their head. And I just refuse to be a part of any of that. And it was something I knew for a long time that I needed to do. Like, just stop entertaining when someone just acts like they're entitled to your time. And someone in my inner circle has said to me quite a few times that they think that certain people come at me like that because of my background, because of my clinical background. I don't really know if that's it. And I know I come off like I want to just help the world. You know what I mean? And I do know that some people do gravitate towards me for whatever reason, and maybe that is one of the reasons, because I get a lot of even just strangers. You know, if I'm somewhere in line somewhere, somebody will just start telling me stuff, and I'm like, I don't even know you. I'm like, oh my God, like serious stuff. And I'm just like, ooh. So I don't know if it's something just about me in general. The live stream where I was talking about, the baby was trying to get to me, and I'm just like, And somebody said babies no. So maybe it's just something about me or some vibe or something that people pick up, and they're just like, oh yeah, I can just, you know, just randomly just talk to her. Or, you know, we're not that close, but hey, you know, I can reach out and she's going to help me type of thing or whatever. Like, I don't know. But it has been happening less. And do I feel like a bitch, like when I don't answer direct questions? No. And some people may say that it's manipulative, like not to answer a direct question. If I know that there's an ulterior motive, because again, been around in these circles before, and sometimes with the same people, so I do already know where this is going. And I didn't sign on to be your encouragement person, you know, for this next hour or whatever. And so, do I feel bad about it? No. Did I say bad about it? Do I feel bad about it? No. Has my life been more peaceful since I've been implementing this? Hell to the yeah. Hell to the yeah. And some have already picked up on, okay, let me just leave her alone when it comes to whatever. Or just be upright and be like, hey, I'm struggling. Like, do you have time to talk? And not just thinking I'm just going to be available just because you are. And that's the selfish part. That's the entitled part. What's selfish and entitled? When you think you can just message someone and they have to give you what you're seeking. And I've had people say, well, usually other people, blah, blah, blah. I'm not other people, boo-boo, kitty, troll, child. I'm not other people. And that's gaslighting as well. If I'm not giving you what you want and you say, well, most people, well, then call most people. Message most people. Why you message me? Why you call me? You see what I'm saying? And so I don't play those games. And y'all got to keep in mind too, I'm over half a century old. I done been around the block. I ain't meet Jenny, but I've been around. And I ain't meet Tupac, but I've been around. And so a lot of things, I'm just like, I already know where this is going. And when I would say to myself, well, no, you don't know, this time might be different. It was never different. It was never different. And so it's like, when I say I know, like I know. And so just maintaining your boundaries and not getting sucked into somebody else's nonsense and not letting them gaslight you into, you need to give them a different kind of answer because other people, no. And for me, that confirms, excuse me, that confirms like why that they're wanting something from me. Well, most people would, you know, I don't play those games. And it might not seem like a game, but I didn't get an invite for this party, and I'm not coming to this party. I'm looking at this, and I'm just like, oh, man. Shoot. Oh, shucks. We're going to do a different type of color combination, maybe, depending on how these show up. This shade is Equinox or Equinox. And so it's been, y'all, I will say this too. I've been sleeping a lot better. I don't know if I'm hibernating because it's winter. But y'all, I sleep so much better. And during my waking hours, because I do, for the most part, people are catching on to, okay, she's not going to give me what I want. Or she was right. Maybe I should talk to my spouse or my person that I live with or that lives with me. Maybe I should find a therapist. I don't know why, and I don't ask, like, hey, you haven't contacted me with any drama in the last 2 weeks. What you been doing? No, it ain't my business. But my life has been more peaceful. And that's been the goal, y'all. Is have a more peaceful life. And maintaining my boundaries. And not to feel bad about maintaining my boundaries. We're going to take this shade. Because we're just going to put on just colors. We're just going to just whatevs. Because I am really thinking I want to do something different with this palette. Ooh. That's this shade. When I look at this, I see purple. This is what I see. Oh. And this is what makes me second guess. Some of these shades. And they blend so well. I thought it was going to be purple. And that is why I put it there. I'm like, we're going to do something unusual and have a yellow and a purple. And this way it disappears. And then it just looks shiny. So maintaining my boundaries and not feeling bad about it. And also when they try to press you for an answer or press me for an answer, you're not entitled for me to even be having this conversation with you. You're not entitled for me to explain myself to you. That's where the entitlement comes in. Number one, expecting you to just be there when they want you to be there to give advice, consolation, help your anxiety, frustration, grief, or whatever. And no. And not to feel bad about it, because I do need to maintain my own peace. My peace of mind, peace in my life, and not carry other people's burdens. I have enough of my own stuff to deal with. Even just being disabled and dealing with joint pain in my body every single friggin' day, which takes a toll on me physically and mentally. It's like, no, just either deal with it on your own, get a therapist, or talk to your person, your spouse, whoever you live with, whatever. That shade was Untamed. I'm still thinking like not to keep it because it is like a not there. This would be something for the inner corner. So those are the things I want to talk about today. Please feel free to share your experiences below, or if you realize like you need to, well, for your mental health, you decided you also need to reinforce your boundaries or develop new boundaries. I'm going to take this shade. Damn it. I'm going to take this shade. So the main thing for me is maintaining that boundary. Because me being a person who likes to understand things, I do want to be understood. But that requires a longer conversation. And also, think of it this way. If they're calling me for something, do they really care where I'm at mentally in that moment? No. And whatever I say is going to be flipped. Because there are some people I speak to, whatever is said or whatever happens in somebody else's life, somehow it always ends up being about them. And I'm just like, wow, you are very much in your own little bubble. Because everything is not about, it's not about you. I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it don't, toss it to the side. And it's for me, I feel annoyed when whatever is said or done is taken personal. Like, I wasn't even talking about you. Like, what? oh, you're that special that everything that goes on somehow is about you. No. And again, maybe because I'm older, but some of the people who contact me for stuff, oh my gosh, I'm having a bad day, how are you? I'm like, I'm still asleep. Talk to your person when y'all get home from work. But it's definitely, it was for sure a life lesson. Because again, I'm over half a century old. I had a lot of lessons. And knowing that it can be hard dealing with things on my own, or just with my inner circle, you know, that's who I'm gonna continue to rock with. I'm gonna take this shade up here. And not just, you know, dump stuff on other people. Especially without a text or a message like, hey, you know, I'm going through something. Do you have the time and mental energy? That's not being selfish, because you're asking, you're finding out where they are, and if they do have the time to get into it. Because when I receive these text messages and, you know, phone calls or whatever, you're just like, oh, the hell with what she doing. You know, I'm messaging her, I'm calling her, and she going to help me. Not anymore, boo-boo kitty troll child. You better have a backup plan. Like, I am not going to allow myself to continue to be used. And so, yeah, I was always that person. Keyword was. But you decide for yourself. And again, I created that beast by always giving answers, by always, oh my gosh, what happened? Are you okay? Oh yeah, things will get better. Tomorrow will be better. Blah, blah. No. No more. No more, no more, no more, no more. And so I had to acknowledge I played a part in that too. And my part in that is realizing that, and realizing I didn't want to allow myself to be used anymore. People can't use you unless you allow them to. So let that sink in. And if you're messaging people for consolation, anxiety relief, frustration, encouragement, or whatever, think about, why are you contacting that person instead of working it out on your own? Because you already think you know your answer. And I say it that way because people tell me, oh, I know you did this because of that. And in my mind, I'm like, if that's what you want to think, I'm not going to correct you. I'm going to let you think what you want to think, because you have to deal with whatever's going on in your mind. And so people will, regardless of what you say, people are going to think, for the most part, what they want to think. And it's not for me to change that. And that's something I had to come to terms with too. It's just, look, Dion, if you're going to let it go, let it go. Just let it go. Like, don't even be like, well, no. And don't later on be thinking about it. Well, I wonder if they realize. No, just completely just poof. Do with my own stuff. There is no shadow on this brush. And so it has been, it actually has been really good for me. Like, as far as my mental health and not taking on someone else's burdens. Because when someone's messaging you with what's going on with them, there's a transference of mental energy and just energy in general that's going on. And I'm not giving my energy away just because someone thinks I should be there for them in that moment. No, you didn't ask me, so no. And as I mentioned up in the beginning, you know, when there is a call, do you have the mental energy and the time? We'll set up a time to actually talk on the phone, so I can have, you know, my mind clear. I'm not preoccupied. They're not preoccupied, and we actually just have like a full-blown conversation, and we work it out. And so that's how I prefer it to happen. Things are different for different people, but just to message someone and just expect them to help you, and then start talking about most people, that's gaslighting. However you want to, that's gaslighting and entitlement. So just because most people, you think I'm supposed to do what most people do, you don't know me. If something like that's coming out of your mouth, you don't know me. Because apparently I'm not most people, if you have to even say that to me. And there are people that would get defensive and be like, well, why are you saying that? No. No. Nope. Nope. And being okay with leaving it right where it is. I'm trying to think what I want to do under my brow. We're going to put this shade under my brow. And we're going to use this brush. This flimsy LaRouche brush. Excuse me. This is a typical ethereal-ish look. And, excuse me, so this, some semblance of this, maybe in my Macari store. I have 2 lethal BYOPs in there now. One of them is a shadow short. I think it's a 6-pan. It has 5 shades in there. But as I said, I do want to keep Monarch and I do want to keep Thorn because they're both UV reactive. So I definitely want to keep those. I really like this shade with that one. This one is Mainframe. But I know I have something similar to it in my other lethal BYOPs. And so, did I tell y'all what this shade was? This shade is Relapse. Back to the brush with no shadow on it, because this over here is looking a little dusty. So let me know what y'all think about that. You know, when people just randomly message you and be like, oh my gosh, today was a rough day. Or they just off the bat start asking you questions, and then like the 4th exchange in, 3rd or 4th exchange in, they're like, well, I was asking you those questions because I was trying to figure out such and such. Oh, so you were just using me to help you figure something out. Okay, that ain't gonna happen again. And when that happens, it's never the first time. Like, it's been a pattern, which is why now I don't give answers. And so, but let me know if either of those situations are relatable to you. Do you see yourself in either one of those situations? You know, and you don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer anything I ask you. Because I wouldn't feel good about being like, yeah, I'm the one that just be expecting people to comfort me or whatever. We're going to put both of these on lower lash line just because, no, we're not. So we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we use this dark purple? It don't look like it. That dark purple is Foxglove. This is what I'm saying, y'all. This shade, what did I just dip into? This shade is Cyanus. We're going to put that on first half of lower lash line. I should have put it on second. We'll put it all over and then decide if I'm going to put something else on top of it. So that's where I am with maintaining my boundaries, my mental health boundaries. And as I said, I've been sleeping a lot better. And that tells you something too. If you change up your availability and or how you interact with certain people, if you start feeling more rested and more at peace, that tells you something. That you are allowing that person to take your energy. People can't take from us unless we allow them to. And so that tells me I am doing the right thing because I am feeling so much better. My sleep is so much more peaceful. And that's something to be aware of too, is when somebody is dumping on you, especially unexpectedly, like they're laying their burdens at your feet. And you didn't expect that. You didn't ask for that. You didn't agree to that. But here you are, you know, being cool, being a friend, and they're draining you. And so that's something to consider too. And that's why my circle is so small. In my circle, y'all, I tell people COVID did 2 things for me. It made my circle smaller and it made my circle tighter. So the people who are in my inner circle now that I knew before COVID, we are locked the hell in. And people since COVID that I've gotten close with, still pretty much we're locked in because we think the same and we respect each other in the same kind of way. And we don't just dump on each other. We don't just expect them to be there just because we want something from them. Like, is that even a friendship? I'm not going to put anything else under there. I'm just going to put more, actually. We're going to take another LaRouche brush because I do have 2 of those. And where is the other one? Are you hiding from me? Because I know I got 2 of them. Yep, here it is. That same shade. cyanus, but we're going to use this clean one because this will help us blow it down a little further. And so if you have a habit of just messaging people because you want something, validation, comfort, support, encouragement, or whatever, and you just message them out the blue, and for whatever reason that day, like they're not able to or don't want to give it to you, just let it go. Don't gaslight. Well, other people, most people, because that just verifies what they were thinking. Okay, you just using me and you think, no, don't gaslight people. If someone isn't giving you what you want from them without you asking for it, like you just want to say something, it's just like they're supposed to just automatically just be there and help you with whatever. Analyze that. Think about that. Like, why do I act like this person owes me an answer? You know what I'm saying? And if there's somebody who, you know, but every now and then contacts you and, you know, you feel drained afterwards, you need to make a decision if you're going to allow that to continue. Because people cannot take from you without you allowing them to take it from you. Your peace of mind, your comfort, whatever it is. And so that's the thing, is owning your part. And my part was, I would always give. And then I'm wondering, like, why am I tired? Why am I sleeping like shit? Why do I feel awful? Because I was letting people take something that wasn't theirs. Or not to say that way, but I was taking on their burdens. And I didn't sign up for that. Upper lash line. I do like the look. But y'all know I like darker. And so that's where we're coming from with this palette. I don't want to get rid of the two UV reactive ones. This one, I do like it. It does look a little dusty if the line is too wide, because this side to me doesn't look dusty. This side does, and maybe it's the lighting because the kitchen light is over there and that's on and there's no light over here. But I really feel like, and I do think we use that purple. This is on the outer corner, but I have browns that are deeper than this. So these are beautiful. This is Willow, by the way. So even though I do really like this palette, I love how bold this is. Equinox. I have this in another lethal palette. So I'm looking at this like I really feel like I could let it go and not miss it. This is a non-shade, but I do want to keep these two because they're UV reactive. This is the one I usually wear for my second cousin's cheerleading competitions because this is their color. This color, white and black, this is the exact color. And so every competition, that's somewhere. And if you saw my Instagram lately, was it that shade? It had to have been that shade. I had her mom, first cousin, do a C4 on my face because that's her daughter's team. Their team is called C4. And so, and she was so nervous. I'm like, it's a letter C and a number 4. And so, it wasn't this. It was not this. It was not this. It was my UV reactive Mayron palette that has this shade in it. And so I had her put that on my face. And so she did a little one over here first because she was really nervous. And I'm like, yeah, that looks good. And so then she did the bigger one over here. But yeah, I was so excited. I did post that picture on my Instagram if you have seen it. That's the first cousin. That's the second cousin cheerleader's mom. She is so much fun. We weren't really close growing up, but as we became adults, we got really close. Like, she is such a joy. So that is this, but I honestly feel like I wouldn't miss this palette. I do want to keep these two, but I really feel like I wouldn't miss it. This I thought was a purple. That's that second shade. When I turn a certain way, you can't even see it. This I like, but I have another palette because that's bold. Yes, I might switch something around just so I can keep these two shades and get rid of the rest. And also what has me thinking about decluttering is, remember when I was so excited that I was down to like 44 palettes and now I'm at like 48, 47. And so I'm just like, and not that I feel like it's too much. I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel more comfortable with fewer stuff, because I know I'm really going to use it on a more regular basis. Okay, why you don't want to go in there? All right, I'll mess with you later. No, I'm going to keep messing with you right now like I don't have no sense. Yo, girl, just stop and keep with the video. I'm trying to think of what to put on my upper lash line. You're like, I can't tell because you're over there messing with other stuff. We're going to put a red. We haven't used this in a while. This red from Inglot. So let me know y'all thoughts on all of that. And so, you know, some people think, you know, I'm being bitchy or whatever. I don't care. Peace of mind is priceless. And when I tell y'all, I've been sleeping better, y'all. My sleep is sweet. Oh my gosh. And and not that I usually deal with anxiety anyway, but it's just been a change in how I feel physically. And I attribute it to that, because when you take on other people's problems, what did I do with that? I didn't put on we're gonna put a mood light, because I'm looking at my face and I do see some fallout, but it is kind of blending into my highlighter. So we're gonna take this. This is Mood Light Lavender, Sheer Lavender Pink from Hourglass, because this will help kind of camouflage that too. So let me know if that makes sense to you, because there's times like we want to be helpful, we want to listen, we want to be there for people, but what's the cost that we pay for that when we don't get that in return? You know what I'm saying? It can, you know, we're taking on somebody else's issues when we didn't agree to, but we agreed to because we feed into it instead of just being like, I'm not dealing with this today. You know what I'm saying? And it might sound mean, because when you're cool with people, you want to help people, but how cool are you when someone is just messaging you to help them feel better? They're using you. That's what it really comes down to. And if someone is messaging you, hey, how's your day, yada yada yada, and then all of a sudden they ask you some question and it's like, oh, okay, that's what they called me for, that's what they text me for. Because some people will beat around the bush and do the pleasantries, but really they're just bullshitting till it feels okay to them to ask whatever they want to ask, or to dump whatever it is that they want to dump on you. And so it's up to you. If you're the person that people have a tendency to come to, you need to decide, are you going to continue to allow that? And so there's times when someone may ask me questions, I'm not going to give you a straight answer, because I'm not feeding into this conversation. And I don't know if it's because I'm older or because of my career. And I really do think our personalities and who we are as people choose our career. So from a clinical standpoint, if I'm really feeling like, okay, this person is seeking something from me, I didn't agree for you to use me. So no, I'm not. I don't give straight answers. I'll give them an answer back. And you can say that's manipulative. You can say it's whatever you want it to say. You can say whatever you want it to mean. And some people are like, well, just answer the question. Well, why are you trying to use me to comfort yourself? Like, I didn't sign up for this. And some people don't realize that they're using you for comfort or validation or whatever. And as soon as they get it from you, they're gone. And then you're left feeling like shit because you done took on their issues. You know what I'm saying? And God forbid, if you need something, here's an example. Somebody you were always there for, they call you or they text you and you're like, girl, what's going on? Oh my gosh. And then let something happen with you. And you message them, they be like, girl, I know, because last week such and such happened to me. Everything turns back to them. That's how you know. If you, like, people used to vent to me. Notice I said used to. And when I developed boundaries, now it's like, oh man, she being a bitch. I'll be a bitch. If me being a bitch is not being at your beck and call to boost your mood, I will gladly be a bitch. Like, where's my peace of mind at? You know what I'm saying? And when we take on other people's problems, We carry that. Do you want to be carrying other people's stuff? Listen, we all go through stuff. If you're watching my channel, you are good and grown. We all go through stuff. So to think that you have a monopoly and that somebody is entitled to, well, feeling like you're entitled to their time, you're not. Sorry, girl, dude, sir, ma'am, non-binary, gender fluid. Nobody owes you their time. And unfortunately, some people really act like they do. And I'm just like, nah, nope, not anymore. And so it is very much a learning lesson, because I was a therapist. Like, I love helping people. But this didn't want to, this is dry. Okay, I'm throwing this away. And it is, and I remember saying before, this is messy. Like, look at all of that around the top. It did not want to open. I am not messing with you. And when I'm closing, it's like it's cracking. That's in the trash. And the thing is, try not to expect people to be at your beck and call when you go through something. Especially, I'm going to say this for me, this is personal. Especially if you're living with somebody. Talk to them. Like, why are you want consolation from me? Talk to your person. And those who have been here, like, y'all know I live alone. I don't have that comfort. But the thing is, I know how to work through things with or without another person. Now, if it's something that's really just like, I'm just struggling to get past it, then yeah, I might say, hey, do you have time for a phone call? I don't just message somebody and then they message back and then all of a sudden I dump all this shit on them. No, that's not a mature thing to do, in my opinion. And people I am close with, that's usually how it goes. It's just like, hey, D, I have something, that's bothering me. Like, do you have time, for a phone call? And either it's yes, or it's, give me a half hour, or today is not a good day. Can I contact you tomorrow afternoon? Sure. That's how you do that. You just don't just give the semblance of you just saying hi and you just chilling, and then all of a sudden you coming out with both barrels. That's inappropriate in my mind. Like, just be upfront. Don't be sneaky with your shit. Just like that person. Oh my gosh, I'm really struggling today. Well, you talk to your person about it when both y'all get home from work. In other words, not my circus, not my monkeys. And not to be mean, but everything that somebody that you're cool with goes through is not for you to help them through it. And because I am a helper, I was a clinician, for goodness sake, doctorate degree and all. So that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, it almost feels like being used when people come to you with stuff and just expect you to like help them. And 9 times out of 10, they do what they were going to do in the first place anyway. So why did you even ask me? Why did I allow you to waste my time? You notice how I said that. Why did I allow? That's the key thing. Ooh. I was thinking black, but we're going to do this one. This is High Drama. Very fitting, right? High Drama. Retro matte liquid lip color for bag. High Drama is described as a deep, dark plum. Very fitting, right? Girl. And so that's just something to consider. If you find that it's you, just be like, hey, I'm struggling with something. Do you have time for us to talk? Don't be like, hey, girl, how are you? Da, da, da. And then it's like, girl, let me tell you. And I'll be like, oh, hell. So I had to learn, too, to read between the lines when people say shit. Because you don't want to think that people are using you for comfort or whatever. But sometimes they do. They may not even realize it. But they do. But once you realize it, you have to decide what you're going to do about it. So now when I get certain messages, I'm like, don't you have a therapist? They haven't been returning my calls. Have you not contacted the company to see if you can get a new therapist? Oh, so-and-so did this. Well, have you talked to them about it? So in other words, I'm not giving you answers. I'm not your therapist. And for me also, not allowing people to use me for my education and expertise on things either. That's inappropriate. And even in the clinical field, you don't do therapy on your friends or even acquaintances because there's an inherent bias there. And so if you come to me with stuff, then that just verifies to me that we ain't really cool like that. But then they don't know our ethics. They don't know clinical ethics. Y'all, I think the lip color is a little uneven, but we're going to leave it. So let me know your thoughts on that. On, seeking help from other people or just expecting somebody to fix things for you, and instead of them like being considerate enough to not just seemingly use you or be seeking answers from you without them. Because listen, if there's something I'm wondering about, I'll let you know and be like, I've been thinking this and this and that. Like, do you have time for us to have a phone call and discuss it? That's how simple it is. But some people want to just keep going around in circles, and then all of a sudden, bam, here's the question. It's like, wait a minute, how we get wait, hold up. So this whole 5 minutes, you was just bullshitting to get to this point where you felt like it was okay for you to dump some shit on me. No. So that's something I had to learn in my personal life. Because if I'm at work, when I was working as a clinician, or even now, if I have the occasional client, I already know they're coming to me for me to help them with their problems. And they're paying for me to help them with their issues or whatever. But just in regular day-to-day, people in my life, like, I'm not your therapist. And I do not have to appease you. And if that sounds harsh, then it just sounds harsh. But think about it. Is there someone in your life that you just randomly go to when you want to process, or something's happened, or you want answers, and do you do the same for them? Like, is it reciprocal? You know what I'm saying? Or do you just contact people and expect them to just have all the answers for you? But deep down, I do think we already know. You just want validation. And if you're really questioning, where you are with that person, maybe you should question it. Maybe you should. Like, is it balanced where y'all reach out to each other? Or is it just one constantly reaching out to the other person with questions or, what about this? What about that? Listen, no. I'd rather just have regular conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a therapist. Well, I am still a therapist, but I'm not an actively working therapist. And so I can tell, like, what's happening, even if that person doesn't think. I was going to say, did I put on mascara? So I just want to say that. And so I am seeing where and why, a friend of mine does say, she thinks that people come at me that way because of my background. And that's all the more reason for me to be careful not to allow people in, because you're not just going to use me. You're not just going to use me to make yourself or to help yourself feel better. Figure that out for yourself, or ask your person that, the person you live with, or the person that you see on a regular basis, or get a therapist. I'm a therapist, but I'm not your therapist. And I tell people, COVID did two things for me. COVID made my circle smaller, and it made my circle tighter. And I appreciate that, because people who were on the fringes, they just go somewhere else. And other people, like, we really just locked in. And that was very eye-opening to me, because there would be times where every time I hear from somebody, it's a problem, or they have a question, or what about this, or what do you think? I'm not your therapist, y'all. I'm not. And because I don't do that anymore, Or I say, well, where's your person? Talk to them when y'all get home from work. If I'm seen as a bitch, I'll be that bitch. But I tell you what, as I told y'all earlier, I am sleeping so much more peacefully this year. I am just, and it could be because it's winter. Cause I keep telling y'all, I feel like I'm hibernating. Like it is just so peaceful, and it just feels different from like last year, even a few months ago. It's very freeing when you stop trying to carry other people's burdens. And especially when they're being slick with it. But the thing is, they don't know they're being slick with it. They don't know. It is selfish and it's entitlement. And what was the other word I used earlier? I forget what the other word was. Yeah, it's selfish when you think people are just here to appease you. And it's entitled, thinking that they owe you to answer you. And thinking that they just going to be here whenever you have the time because you want to figure something else out. Is it their job to figure out your life? It's not. It's not. So yeah, it is very selfish and it is entitled. I forget the other word that I used earlier, but try not to be that person. And the thing is, when you become close with somebody, it takes time, especially over the internet. It takes more time over the internet than it does in person. And I'm going to use Grace as an example. Hey girl, maybe like 5 years ago. And I didn't remember how long it had been. But she mentioned it in one of her videos. She was like, yeah, that was 5 years ago. She had a, not 5 years ago. Was it? She had, I forget what number subscriber giveaway it was. And, we were watching each other's stuff. Didn't speak too much, though. Leave a comment here or there. But it wasn't anything like, oh, my God, this is my bestie, like we do now. And I had won her giveaway, y'all. It was a whole box full of stuff. And I was just like... And she introduced me to some good products. Because a lot of stuff, because y'all know I don't use a lot of different stuff. And so every time... It was so much stuff in this big ass box, y'all. And so every time I would try something that I won from her, I would send her a message on Instagram. Oh, I tried that Too Faced Ethereal Born This Way powder. I really like it. And I like it so much. I used it up and I purchased one. And I used it up years ago because this was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I purchased one for my kit. I love that friggin' powder. So every time I would try something that I had won from her, I would send her a message on Instagram. Hey, Grace, I tried such and such today from your giveaway that I won and I really like it, or I didn't like it, or whatever. And we've been in touch ever since. And so it just organically happened that we became friends. You cannot force friendship on somebody. And so even though it was me, I'm gonna just let her know, if I like this thing that, I won from her that I tried, whatever. It wasn't like, oh my God, we're gonna be besties. I did do that with another person. When I met them, I said, we're gonna be friends. They don't know it yet, but we're gonna be tight. And as time went on, after maybe like 2.5 years, we were locked in. But genuine friendship, whether it starts parasocial or not, it's organic. You can't force it. And it started me just, winning her giveaway. And every time I tried something from the giveaway, because it was a big ass box of stuff, I would send her a message. I tried this today and, it was okay. Or I tried this today. Oh, I love that powder. I tried this today. Here's the link to the video I did using it. And so we just kept chit chatting. And before we know it, years later, like here we are, that's bestie. You know what I mean? And so... And even newer people that come along. Like sometimes you will just click with people off the bat. Like me and Janessa clicked off the bat. Me and Janessa just clicked off the bat. Hooker, clown, queen, troll. We were destined to be cool. And then other people, it's a slow burn. You can't force it though. If you try and force it, it's not going to work. Because then it's just like something ain't just right. Like, why are you trying so hard type of thing. And so I think that's something that people don't realize either. Like just because we're like, hey girl, hey. That don't mean we're besties. We're just being nice and cordial. And I do think it goes both ways, but for some people, they do take it to mean more than it is. And I'm not saying that to say parasocial relationships aren't legit, because they are. And it's been a handful of people where I'm like, I do want us to meet in person. And one of those people is Janet. I am looking forward to meeting Janet in person. In a lot of ways, we think alike. And it's just like, damn, that's a little scary. Because sometimes I think my thought process is scary. But it's just amazing, like, when you do just come in contact with people, parasocial or not. And it's just something there. And it's just like, wow, like, this is really cool. And then some other people, it's just like, okay, girl. And I'm going to pick on Tanya. Me and Tanya, y'all know, go way back to 2008 when I started doing videos. My channel was Steeler Junkie 07. I got on YouTube in 2007, watched it for a year, and because of a lot of encouragement from the people I was watching, I started doing videos in 2008. Tanya was with me back then, y'all. And she found me this time under, I think it was the Curve collab. Because she was like, she said, yeah, you look familiar. She left a comment, something like, did you used to have another channel? And I was like, yeah, it used to be Steeler Junkie 07. She commented back, I thought that was you. I recognized your voice. And I had braids back then, y'all. So I didn't, apparently I still look the same. But I had braids back then. And so from braids to this, and she was like, I thought you looked familiar. Da, da, da. And so we go back. There was a gap because I left YouTube. But we just picked up right where we left off. And so like and what I'm saying this to say, just let it happen organically. You know, some people click, some people don't. Some people you want to click with and they like, we ain't clicking. And then there's other people that's trying to click with you that really don't. Like, you can't force, I'm gonna say you can't force a friendship. You can force being cool, because just I'm gonna be cool because y'all here on my channel, you're watching me, y'all support me, I appreciate that. And I am genuine when I'm like, I appreciate y'all, because I really do. But that locked in, that's something that has to just grow on its own. And so I'm gonna just leave that there. So if you're, but then I'm gonna keep talking, right? So if you're feeling some kind of way, or if you're feeling like, you know, why is this person, you know, yada, 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 look at yourself too. Because I opened up myself to always be that person that people can come to and just, you know, use me for advice, or what about this, or what about that. And then I'm wondering why I'm worn out, because I was taking on other people's problems when I shouldn't have been. But when I started setting them boundaries, and not only setting the boundaries for myself, but maintaining those boundaries, y'all, my life is so much more peaceful. And since implementing this boundary, protecting my peace, excuse me, y'all, excuse me, I'm feeling so freaking good. I'm feeling so good. And so it's something that just happens. Being cool with somebody it's just something that happens. It's not anything that you can force. And when you try and force it, it's not going to work. And either they're going to be too nice to tell you, you know, fuck off, or and on YouTube they won't say that, because if you're watching each other's channels, you do want those views and the watch time. But, you know, just keep it real, though. Just keep it real and just be who you are. And just don't bullshit people. And don't use people. If you're struggling with something, don't be like, oh, I'm going to ask this person. Just don't use people. You know what I mean? You have a person at home, talk to them. Find a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep YouTube fun. I am really on a tangent. I thank y'all for listening. If y'all can relate to what I'm saying, feel free to leave your comments below. I'm not saying out yourself or anything like that, or just message me on Instagram if you have my phone number, text me or whatever. But yeah, so I hope all of you are doing okay. If you're feeling some kind of way, like being drained after, you know, conversating with, you know, certain people, whatever, then you need to make a change. You do, because they won't, because they don't realize that they're using you. And they may think that they're not, or they're thinking, you know, we're cooler than we really are, or, you know, they're just somewhere where we're not. And just because you really feel connected to somebody doesn't mean it's reciprocal. And if you pay attention to the lines of communication and the talks and the topics, that'll tell you where you are, if anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention to those things. And if there's a problem, don't go to one of these parasocial relationship people and expect them to fix things in your life, whether they're a clinical person or not. Like, just because I have a doctorate degree in psychology doesn't mean that I'm here for your purpose of fixing your life. My name is Dion, not Ileana, or however you say your name. I am seriously babbling, y'all. But let me know what you think of all of that. And I'm going to say it one more time. My life has felt so much more peaceful that I'm just like, wow. Just not carrying other people's problems. You know what I'm saying? So we are really going to go. Let me know about the look. I do like the look. Y'all know it's lighter than I like it. I love the triple wing. And that's the thing I've been doing a lot of lately. That mascara is nice. These lashes are longer than over here. That's why these are more noticeable. But I'm really liking that. The brows. They both do kind of have a peak today. Tomorrow, who knows? Yeah, so I do think... I do think right now though, honestly, I think I'm gonna put this in my store. I do want to keep this thorn and monarch because they are UV reactive. Other than that, like this whole thing I'm thinking can go. I do like the look. I think it's very pretty. If you like ethereal looks, what I use, at least 6 shades. Easy to work with, not a lot of fallout. The little bit I had, just put on a shimmery highlighter. It blends right in. And I do like the look. And I'll probably keep it in this packaging because this is all the colors and this is all the colors. And thank you members for helping me name this Candyland, but I'm really ready to let it go because I felt so good when I had 44 palettes and now I'm at 49 and I have something coming from the Notoriously Morbid, so that'll be like 50. And so I am feeling like I want to get rid of more stuff without being careless about it, but that's why I wanted to use this again today. Excuse me for that glare. Just to kind of see what I feel about it. The look is gorgeous. I love the look. I love the darker lower lash line. I love the triple wing effect we got going on. But it's not where I live. And the lipstick is bomb. The lipstick is from Notoriously Morbid. Where did I put it? No, it wasn't. That was High Drama from MAC. Y'all know I love a dark lip. So we're going to go. Thank you so much for listening to my babblings. If you made it this far, put a rainbow as a comment or at the end of your comment because this is all sorts of colors. This is all sorts of colors. So put a rainbow if you made it through the whole entire thing. And I appreciate you for doing so. You will see me soon. Thank you for being here. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you again, and you will see me soon.